So I've got a stock that I'm down about 25% on, and the shorts basically own it right now, and I'm here to tell you why I'm not only holding, but I'm actually buying more. And I'm qualified to give this information because I own a Patagonia coater zip, and I check my portfolio about 100 times a day. Either I'm early or I'm cooked. Let's find out which. Welcome to Out of Stock. I'm Hugo, I'm 18, I've been investing since I was about 14, and I started this channel basically to document my journey in the stock market and just try to make something. Not like boring nonsense guru stuff and no fake screenshots, just real money and real trades and some bad decisions. Today's video is about my biggest holding, Ondas, ticker ONDS. I want to talk about exactly why I own it, what the bull case is, and what could go wrong, because ignoring the fact that it could go wrong is just embarrassing. Disclaimer, this is not financial advice. I'm literally a teenager. Don't take life advice from me. So first, what is Ondas? Because the name tells you absolutely nothing. Ondas has two main business units. The first one is Ondas Networks. They build private wireless infrastructure, mostly for train networks. It's not very sexy. It's kind of been a weak link for Ondas, but the second division, and why I mostly invest in the company, is OAS, Ondas Autonomous Systems. This is the drones and robotics side of the business. They make platforms like Optimus System, the Iron Drone Raider, and they operate on a robotics as a service system, meaning customers basically subscribe to the drone system instead of buying the product outright. Kind of like AWS, but with flying robots. And their Iron Drone specifically, it's a counter drone system. And if you haven't been living under a rock for the last 2 years, you know why that's important. So here's where it gets interesting. I'm going to throw a bunch of random numbers at you and hope that you pay attention and don't start dozing off. In 2024, OAS generated $5.3 million in revenue. Nothing too crazy, but in 2025 they generated $49.7 million in revenue, which is 840% in year-over-year growth, from 5.3 million to almost 50 million in 1 year. It's a 604% increase. And here's the big deal, the 2026 guidance. They're guiding over $375 million in revenue this year alone, which is nearly a 7x from last year. Now, do take forward guidance with a pinch of salt, because small cap companies like this love to hype up their revenue guidance like they're basically the next Amazon, which sometimes can't be true. We'll see. With the direction of travel here that Ondas is taking, it's hard to argue with that. They also ended January 2026 with a little over 1.5 billion in cash, which also raises one of their main issues, which is dilution and cash burn. Now let me show you the chart for a second, because right now the stock is also sitting at an interesting point. RSI, which is the relative strength index, is sitting right around 32, which is not yet overly sold, but it's right around that point. But the stochastic RSI is literally sitting at 0. Does that mean that the stock can't go any lower? No. But historically, when you see a company with a stock RSI pinned at 0, it tends to be closer to a floor than a ceiling. The ADX is showing 17, which shows the trend is choppy. It means the downtrend is losing momentum. It's not necessarily like prepped for a reversal straight away, but it does mean that the downtrend is losing momentum. And the oscillators at the bottom also show all negatives, which doesn't necessarily mean it's bullish, but it does show that the sellers have been controlling the stock for a while and tends to set up the next move. Honestly, the technicals are secondary here. If you look on the right, it shows that Ondas has booked over $40 million in orders in June alone, which could be counter-UAS systems, loitering munitions, and ground robotics. They've also stated that Q2 revenue has topped at $150 million already. $150 million in revenue in 1 quarter compared to a company that was doing $50 million in revenue for the whole of last year. So you've got a stock that's been beaten down with multiple indicators showing that it's almost oversold, and the downtrend momentum seems to be slowing down. Simultaneously, the company has just shown that they've had order flow that dwarfs anything the company has done in the past. The fundamental story just gets better while the stock keeps getting beaten down. Whether the market figures this out in weeks or months, I genuinely don't know, but this is the kind of asymmetry I look for. Drones are not a trend anymore, and we've seen in the last few years in warfare how it's completely changed. Ukraine and the Middle East, drones are everywhere now, and the response to drones is counter drones, exactly what Ondas does. Governments around the world are scrambling to protect critical infrastructure, borders, civilian infrastructure, and Ondas sits exactly at that key point. They also have a partnership with Palantir, which doesn't mean too much. It also could be a gateway into more Department of Defense contracts in the future. And the Trump administration has literally been talking about taking stake and funding American drone companies. And if we've seen what happened in the past with companies that the Trump administration has taken stake in, like Dell, Intel, it's kind of clear what could happen here. Now, the bear case. I'm going to explain the other side because if I didn't, I would be just doing you wrong. One of the key problems is shorting. The short interest is like really high. It's sitting around, I think, like 30-40%, which is really high for a company like this. Shorts are basically controlling the stock. Every time it gets pumped up and keeps going, shorts immediately buy more and it just dips even harder. The main bear case is execution risk. Can they actually fulfill on their promise of $375 million in revenue this year compared to what they did in $50 million last year? Dilution is also very real. They've raised a lot of capital through equity and offerings and convertible debt. The cash position is strong now, but they're basically just printing shares. In the Ondas Networks division, which isn't a huge part of the company, but it's definitely been dead weight and doesn't provide much anymore. So yes, there is a serious reason for why the stock is where it is now. I'm not trying to cover that up. So here's where I'm at. I'm down 25% on the stock, but I'm still holding strong, and I do plan to add more shares if it continues to dip even harder. If it doesn't, great. If it does, I'll just keep buying. Keep selling me your shares. Thank you for donating to my fund. I'll keep you guys updated on this one. If it doesn't go well, I'll obviously talk about it. If it does, I'll celebrate and gloat as much as I possibly can, because that's who I am. If you're new here, welcome to Out of Stock. Follow along if you want to see me try to make it or lose terribly whilst trying to do that. Leave a comment if you own any Ondas. I'm genuinely curious what people's opinions are on that. But yeah, thank you for watching.